Welcome to the Vendador Table. This week we are going to be cooking blue prawns that are cooked over binchotan coals, and we are pairing them with a Mussel Escabeche that consists of some red bell peppers, some charred fennel, and we're also pairing them with casavelchana olives and a sauce that is made from the liquid of the actual mussels themselves and saffron. We'll start by chopping and charring our celery. So I'm just gonna take the root end off here, take off the fronds, then go right down the middle. I'm gonna keep half of this. Did I say celery? So I've got a whole bulb of fennel. I'm gonna save half of it to go into the stock and the other half I'm gonna char for our escabeche. I'm just gonna make it a little bit thinner just so I can get a nice char everywhere on it. We're gonna hit it with a little bit of olive oil and a touch of salt. Finish it off with black pepper so we can get it nice and toasted on our grill. And now we'll bring it over to our binchotan. The other portion of the fennel, I'm just gonna roughly chop to go into our stock. And then our fronds we're gonna use for garnish. So I'm just gonna choose some that are really, really nice. So these are New Caledonian prawn. They're blue prawn. They're absolutely delicious. The shells are actually gonna go in our stock. So I'm just gonna put them with our mussels that have already been purged. We ran them underwater for about an hour yesterday already, so they've been nicely cleaned. I'm keeping the head on, and I'm also leaving this last bottom part as well too. I think it just looks beautiful whenever you cook it up. So we've got our shrimp now, all nice and clean. These are gonna go on the binchotan right before service as well, so just keep them cold in the meantime. So we're gonna start off with making our stock base. So I'm gonna go into our pot with some water first. And then we've got about a really good cup of some dry white vermouth. So we've got the fennel that we chopped the half of going in right away. We've got a couple of stalks of celery. We have the white parts of the leeks that have been already cleaned off. We have one whole white onion. We have parsley. We have a couple of cloves of garlic, 2 bay leaves, rosemary, and thyme. And then we're just gonna top this whole thing off with our mussels and our shrimp bodies. Okay, our liquid is almost at a simmer, so we're gonna go ahead and add in a few celery seeds. We're also gonna add in some fennel seeds. We're just going to place the lid on it, and we're gonna wait for a couple of minutes for the mussels to really release all of their liquids, at which point we can take this and strain it. We're gonna save all of that liquid, and then we're gonna pick through the mussels to make our escabeche. Okay, so it's been a couple of minutes. All of our mussels are open, so I'm just gonna take it and strain it directly into our basket here that's been lined with a little bit of cheesecloth, just to make sure that none of the celery seeds or the fennel seeds get in there. So as you can see, I've strained this directly over a pot because I want to start reducing the liquid. But I'm gonna take these mussels and dump them into this pan so they can cool down a little bit faster, and that way I can pick them a little bit faster. While I do this portion, I'm just gonna turn this on and I'm gonna start simmering this liquid until it's reduced about halfway. So it really concentrates a lot of that flavor. These guys are so gently poached. They're really not cooked through all the way. The good thing about it is they're gonna be submerged in a lot of citrus juice, and so that'll help them take them the rest of the way, almost like a ceviche. So while that liquid keeps simmering away and reduces, we're gonna start working on the actual escabeche part of it. So we've got our charred fennel right here that just came off the grill. So we're gonna take it and mince it. So for our shrimp, we'll just get a little bit of olive oil on them, sprinkle with salt. Now we'll move on to the grill. At this point, the liquid has reduced about half. You can see that it's a lot darker in coloration, and it's basically reduced down to a half a cup. So I'm gonna add equal parts of heavy cream to this. So going in with a half cup of heavy cream. And then we're gonna slowly bring that up to a simmer. In the meantime, I'm gonna add a couple of things to it. So there's gonna be the Aleppo pepper, a little bit of this beautiful saffron, and a little bit of vanilla bean extract. Saffron is really released by heat, so you have to get it warm or hot in order for it to really release those beautiful yellow colors. You guys are gonna see in a second how this completely transforms in color. So we've got our charred fennel here. I'm gonna chop up a little bit of parsley to add to this. Next, we're gonna take a little bit of this yellow bell pepper and some red bell pepper as well. Just gonna take off a little bit of this white part right here in the middle. Just gonna square it off, and from there, I can get this as flat as possible. This would be really great with tomatoes too, but that's another version for the summer. Next, we're gonna add in our olive oil. You basically wanna be able to get this to swim in olive oil. We're gonna come in with our fennel powder, and then of course our acid. We're gonna make sure that we're using our zest as well, and then essentially equal parts of lemon. Next, we'll go in with some of our mussels, add a touch of salt to season, and lastly, finish off with a little bit of Aleppo pepper. These are our mussels in escabeche sauce. It's so good, unreal. I'm also gonna cut out a few rings of Castelvetrano olives. You can add this to your escabeche if you want to keep it very simple. I think I'll just leave them whole in rings. So we've got our liquid here. We're gonna pour it into our blender, mound it in our butter, and finish it off with a little bit of lemon juice. And I'm gonna add in our butter little by little. You don't want to add it in all at once. If the temperature of the sauce gets to be too low because of cold butter, it will snap. So obviously this has a ton of dairy in it already, so we really want to cut through it with a little bit of citrus. So I'm gonna actually add in some lemon. You don't have to go too crazy. Remember, the escabeche also has a lot of citrus in it as it is. I'm really happy with this. I'm not going to strain the sauce. I'm completely fine if you see a little bit of vanilla in it or if you see some of the Aleppo. So I'm just gonna pour it straight into our pot here, and that's ready to go. I really want this dish to kind of resemble a bouillabaisse, so I left my broth a little bit thinner, and I'm gonna actually start by placing my prawns in the center so that they get a little bit of a submersion as well. From there, I'm gonna take my little mussel escabeche that I just heated up very lightly and place it all around it. And we're gonna go in with our sauce, essentially to cover. And then we'll go with our olives, a few around to really cut through the richness of the sauce. And of course, to finish, some of the fennel that we picked earlier to really tie the dish in together. And there you have it. Absolutely delicious. Make this for your friends and family, make this for your clients. They will absolutely love it, I promise. Thank you all so much for watching. We will see you on the next one.